3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Anglia Ruskin win it at home. 88-58 over the Thames Valley Cavaliers. What has been a spectacular game of basketball. Played in a great spirit, in a wonderful venue. It is good to have WNBL Division 1 basketball back on Focus Hoops Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining us. The final score, Anglia Ruskin 88, Thames Valley Cavaliers 58.
Joined by Mads Homoly and Katrin Hulme. After their Anglia Ruskin University's own, after their 88-58 win over Thames Valley Cavaliers in the first game of the season at home in the Stephen Pearce Foundation in the WNBL Division 1. We will get to you right now. Just talk us through that game, Mads.
You know, I think our team really stuck with it the whole game. We've had a lot of energy even up till the last buzzer, which I think really helped us carry through and just keep that lead growing the whole time. And I think everybody really played well together today.
Was there a benefit to having played against Thames Valley last weekend? At home.
Yeah, it was an interesting one because obviously usually you see a team and then you see them again in the second half of the season, and now playing the same team back to back. I mean, they're a strong team, so it's probably come into our favour to play them twice early doors. Because obviously we've got new people coming in, but we're gelling. They're a new team, they're still gelling, so I think it was probably in our favour. We didn't see any tape on them in the week, so we were just going on how we felt last game. But I think today we did a really good job of just playing our game. Like, we didn't really focus so much on what they do, more about just our strengths and what we can improve on.
Now, knowing how detail-oriented Michael is, Michael Hanson-Morris, head coach of Anglia Ruskin University Women, that's got to be pretty strange preparation for you guys to not be looking at film in the week. Yeah, in one hand I guess so, but I think on another we've got such depth this year. I think there's also going to be a lot of focus on flowing, and it's just learning to play together rather than putting in too much too soon, because I think as I said, it's still early doors. So yeah, I mean, if the film had been there, guaranteed we would have had it. Mads, in terms of settling in, obviously your second game in the league for ARU, how have you found the process of adapting and acclimatising to new league, new players?
I think the biggest change for me is just the style of play. You know, I came from a very structured, lots of fouls, everything, and so coming here, it's been just an adjustment in my playing style and adapting to who I'm playing with, and also just how the refs are going to call things. So first game, I got in a little bit of foul trouble, so I had to really make a strong adjustment for this game, coming in knowing especially we're going to be guarding Voynova and how strong of a player she is. So I'm really just adapting my style of play to what our team needs for these games.
Is it a big departure from college rules to obviously FIBA rules as we play over here?
I wouldn't say big departure. It's more of just little adjustments I don't really think about, little stuff, for not knowing you had to wait for the refs to come into the game. You know, just small parts of the game that I just will mess up here and there, and it's it's a learning experience. Everyone's been very helpful, so it's been pretty smooth, I would say.
And obviously as a student athlete, you played for Bucks at the weekend, or in the Bucks team in the midweek. 44 points in the victory.
Yes, I did.
You smashed it. I was tabling the game, and I mean, honestly, I was doing the book, and at one stage I was just writing 20, another 2 points, 20, and I was like, well, I might as well just fill in a good quarter of it. 20. She played really well.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really fun game. It was nice to just get to spread my wings a little and do a little bit of everything with that team. And we had our guards were so awesome, and just finding me on these amazing open looks. It was such a team game too.
Talking about team games, it became Team Alice McDermott for a time out there tonight. It became, let's get Alice the rock inside, try and get her to score. Was that a directive, or was that just something that you guys wanted to do during the game?
No, that wasn't a directive at all. It was just she found herself in the right positions. She's a really smart girl. She knows where she needs to be, and she's been picking up things literally leaps and bounds throughout the pre-season. And I think it was just a case of she's on the floor, and as with all of the players on the team, if someone's open, we'll share it. And she happened to find herself in the really good places, and she took great looks. So next time it will drop.
So Ipswich Bobcats up next. What do you guys have in store for them, Katrin?
It'll be interesting. So obviously they're a fast team, run and gun. They live and die by the three-point line, and it's always a really entertaining game against them. I remember last year we ran them like it was a really high-scoring game, both at theirs and here. So it'll be exciting. Yeah. I don't know what plans and stuff we've got in store specifically, but just as a team, I think just build on what we did today.
And finally, you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
4 assists away from a triple-double. Almost there.
Well, last week I was 1 rebound shy of the 10, so at least I'm on the rebound side now, and now I've just got to add an assist and get a couple.
On the bench, I was like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna have like 20 points, 20 rebounds, 20. I was like, she's just gonna keep going, like padding the stats over there.
I'll get it sometime.
All right, well, let's hope that we have it on the Focus Hoops live basketball commentary. Thank you so much, Katrin Hulme and Mads Homoly. Homoly.
There it is.
And see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joined by Michael Hanson-Morris, Anglia Ruskin women's head coach. 88-58 victory for your team. Just talk us through that win.
Really impressed. I think Thames Valley are going to be a team that will finish in the top 5 this year. We talked before the game about not being complacent from last week. Them adding Kelsey McNamara in, she's a tough cover. She didn't shoot the ball great tonight, but I think we also did a good job of really making her touches hard. Worked at both ends of the floor. And yeah, to beat a team like that by 30 is a really good sign for us. But we've talked about afterwards, we've got another tough team coming in next week, so we've got to keep building and be ready for Ipswich.
Who was your standout performer for you today? Now, I've just spoken to Mads Homoly and Kat Hulme, 2 of your highest scorers, but who stood out for you?
I mean, it's hard to pick an individual when you play like that as a team. Kat and Mads did a terrific job on Voynova. She's a top 3, top 5 player in this league, no doubt, and they really did a good job making her work for things. And obviously they were efficient on the offensive end. I thought Sophia again really controlled the game in key moments. And then Noah, look, she's come in and we knew she was a good player from last year. But yeah, she's really come in and impressed, and I think her defensive intensity for us, you could tell the crowd got into it when she really picked the ball, especially in the second half. Another 16 points. Yeah, really impressed with her. But again, it's a total team effort, 1 through 11 today.
So, 5 seconds closely guarded. I don't remember last time I actually saw one get called in a game. That was one of the highlights of the game for a lot of the fans by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I mean, it gets called occasionally. It's normally off an inbound pass, not normally in the half court. And when it is in the half court, it's normally a trap situation. So to get it with denial, to get it with ball pressure, that was outstanding. But again, it's not just that one play, it's the way we defended consistently. We were a lot better today. We talked last week about 70 being too many to give up as an average. So yeah, really impressed. But yeah, that 5-second call was great to see. But again, that was led by Noah blowing up a catch from McNamara. So, to do that, it's a whole team effort for sure.
What was the key today? Was it you guys playing better, or was it TVC not firing on all cylinders, or somewhere in between, or am I being a bit harsh?
Oh, it's a bit of both. I think talking to some of the Thames Valley players after as well, I think both teams recognised they didn't play as well as they did last week. But we also we took a massive leap forward. We were a lot more consistent defensively. Still got to guard the ball better. But our tempo was good. We got deep catches early, and then I think our ball movement was terrific. It says 23 assists. Felt a few more than that. And if we shared a rock, we're going to be a tough cover this year, just because we've got so many offensive weapons.
Talk to me about Alice McDermott. It became, let's get McDermott some buckets, which unfortunately she didn't quite convert, but got herself into some really good positions, and the team just loved trying to find her in those spots.
It's not about getting Alice buckets, it's about making sure she does the things we've asked her to do on a consistent basis. And that's part of a young player process. We try to simplify things we ask her to do. And yeah, for sure, I know she really regrets the transition layup she missed. But again, that's something 3 weeks ago she wouldn't have done. She wouldn't have sprinted to the middle of the rim, got a steal and got an early catch, and that's showing real signs of progress. And again, I thought she was solid on the defensive end as well. She's still raw. She's got a lot to learn, but she's doing some things consistently, and that's really pleasing from a coaching point of view.
Bobcats next week from Ipswich. They are going to be a tricky customer. We're not too sure, but we think they've won today, and we know they won last week away at the SGS Wise Arena in Bristol. So, woof.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. I think the girls are already looking forward to it. The game here in March last year was terrific. Nick does a terrific job with his group year in, year out. And look, but again, like us, we've lost a key player. Ipswich have lost a key player with Esther Little being out for a while, and to go win in Bristol is a really impressive win. And I'm really looking forward to a game. It should be a great game of basketball next week. I'm excited for it. We've got to go away and get better this week. And look, Ipswich are going to cause a different set of challenges. They're a lot smaller team. But I'm looking forward to it, and it's nice to have a big game early in the year.
You were without Jasmine July today. Any word on her return?
We don't know. It's a really freak eye infection. Last Thursday she was absolutely fine, then Friday she picked up something, and we're just waiting to see, and it's a day-to-day thing. I don't think she'll be back next week, but it just depends on how the treatment progresses back home in Hungary. She's in daily contact with me, and it's just going to be a case of we're going to be on the cautious side because of the nature of the injury. There's a chance she can do some more long-term damage if we rush her back. But obviously the first step is her returning back to the UK, and we'll wait and see when that is. All
right, Michael Hanson-Morris, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Darren.
I'm joined by Diana Voynova of the Thames Valley Cavaliers. How have you found the adjustment to the WNBL D1?
Definitely different pace of a game, and just getting used to the team. And I've just recently joined the team, so and I like getting used to the players, getting used to the coach, and less practices, and trying to kind of put everything together in a short period of time is challenging, but I enjoy it. I think personally for me, I prefer to I want to play for fun now as my career is finished, so I think this is a good opportunity.
It seems like a really good bunch of individuals around, so is that part of the draw for it?
Yeah, I think we got the short end of the stick playing this team the first two games of the season, because like I said, we recently just got together, started. A lot of people are still missing, coming from holiday, so we haven't had a chance to gel yet, haven't had a chance to practice. I just joined about 2 weeks ago, a week before we played the team. And I think it's just, I think we'll be, we definitely will be, this is definitely not by any means what we are capable of. I think it was one of those games, they made everything, we couldn't hit a shot, but definitely once we get better, once we learn to play with each other as a team, I think we'll be a completely different team, and I'm very excited. I think we have good chances.
I think so too. I really do mean that as well. I think you guys have a real chance at making it to Manchester all the way. So tough first assignment up against your old friend, old teammate, Katrin Hulme.
Oh my God, I love Kat. We play together at Northumbria, one of my dearest friends, and of course an amazing player. I have huge respect for her, a lot of love. I mean, it's just to see, it's lovely to see her doing what she's doing. I know she had some tough time after I left Northumbria, and so to see her back to her usual self, to me, is just amazing. And credit to the team. I mean, they play together. Obviously, they've been together for a while. Have a couple of new additions, and it is amazing. But Kat is Kat. She's an amazing shooter. You can't sleep on her because she does the things that she does everything right, really. So I know from experience playing with her. So it's definitely somebody you want on your team.
And finally, just what are your personal goals for the season? So you're playing a little bit more for fun, but you must have some goals as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think even the fact that I'm playing for fun doesn't mean the competitive edge goes away. I think, like you said, our goal is to go to Manchester. I don't think this is an indication where we are, and I think it's gonna definitely, at least early in the season, he highlighted what we need to work on. But for me, I think definitely going to Manchester, making it to the Final Four is a goal. I say no matter who I play against, my goal is to win. So it's a bit tougher now, but it will be, I think we'll get there.
Good.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back on court again. Same we're not on the same team, but it's good to be playing.
I just said that. It's nice to play against you, nice to see you back to your usual self. So I said I have a lot of love and respect for this girl, so nice to see her doing well.
Diana Voynova, thank you so much. Just a reminder, next weekend, same place, same time, same Facebook live page. It is the Ipswich Bobcats coming up at 4 p.m. next Saturday. Today they are taking on the Southwark Pride in Ipswich. Their first home game of the season. A reminder, they defeated the Bristol Flyers last weekend. I am delighted to say I've been joined by Jake Naylor.
Hello.
Of the Anglia Ruskin University. You are the President of Basketball of ARU.
I am for this year, yes.
So what does that entail?
The main roles are from a committee perspective, so making sure the captains are doing their roles and social media is fulfilled and all of the jobs behind the scenes.
So you're in charge of ARU Basketball, the social media accounts that we can all follow and enjoy?
I don't currently post things. We have social media people that do that for us. I just make sure that nothing inappropriate and make sure the games are being presented to people and they know when to come to games and what the scores are and all those sorts of things. Yeah.
So you guys have moved your women's Bucks games are now played later on a Wednesday.
Yes, they are.
So tell us about that. Where can people come and see them?
So those games are at Kelsey Kerridge always on Wednesdays, which is Parkside, right in the centre of Cambridge. And I believe most of those games are around 6 p.m. Anywhere from 4:30 to 6:30 is the general start time for those games. But you can find that information out on the Bucks website and also the Bucks Play app if you have that.
The Bucks Play app, there you go, top tip for you. So Jake, what have you seen in this game so far? The score, just to remind you listening on Focus Hoops, it is 50-26. Anglia Ruskin leading it.
Yeah, a quite strong lead at the moment going into the second half. I think up until the last 5 minutes it was more of an even game. There was a lot of baskets scored within the last 5 minutes of the game, inside the paint, inside the key. Just very simple little movements on the baseline, driving, high post, low post passes. That's how they're scoring the majority of their points at the moment.
Who is the standout player for you from Anglia Ruskin?
I think currently has to be number 13 for me. Has to be. Not just to do with point scoring, but just the off-ball movement. Like I said, moving from the low post up to the high post to create space for other players to drive and passing inside. That's my standout player for the first half.
That's your standout player, Katrin Hulme, the captain. 14-5-5 performance from her thus far. Doing a little bit of everything, like you've said. Is that the key to what we can expect from Anglia Ruskin this year? Like, if you want to have a look at the stats with me, does anything really, aside from Hulme's points, does anything massively stand out, or does it seem like a fairly broad team performance? Everybody does their part, but everyone does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think that has been the key for the success so far in this game. They haven't relied on three-point shots and they haven't relied on players inside scoring points. There's been a nice spread across all the different statistics, points being scored from all over the court, and it's not just been one player scoring all the points. So it's been a real team effort today.
Real team effort, like you say. Now, what do the Thames Valley Cavaliers now? Look, I know, take Anglia Ruskin half. I know that you are president of this basketball club for this fine university, but what did Thames Valley need to do to get themselves back in this game? Again, they're down by 24. They've got 20 minutes left. It's a long game basketball, but what do you see that they need to do?
I think to start with, they need to slow down their offense. They're rushing shots and they're not getting good looks. They're quite often taking the first shot on the first opportunity and they're not looking for the best shot on offense. Defensively, they just need to tighten up a bit more inside the key. Whether that entails switching on players or playing tougher man-to-man D, that's up for their coach to decide, but something needs to change. Something needs to change on defense. They're conceding too many easy baskets.
Would you, now if you were coaching this side, and you do some coaching, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You do. So perfect. Coach's eye view of this. Would you sacrifice the perimeter a little bit more and pack out the paint a little bit, or is that too risky against a side that last weekend? What did Ruskin shoot? They shot 13 of 27 from three, which is a fantastic percentage.
That is a very good percentage. However, in this game, like I said, the majority of their points haven't come from behind the perimeter, so maybe that's something they need to try. Just give up some more space on the perimeter and guard inside a bit more heavily. And if that works for them, then they should stay doing that. And if it doesn't, then maybe they need to rethink again. But I think it's definitely worth a try. See if they can give up the perimeter, force some 3-point shots and grab the rebounds.
Ruskin today shooting 4 of 10 from outside. Katrin Hulme leading the score. Of course she is, with 2 of 3 attempts. We won't keep you too much longer because we know you need to get back down there to, well, you're working on the scoring table today.
Statistics.
Statistics, sorry.
Yes.
So you are responsible for the live stats that we can
that we're
see.
looking at right now, yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. Such a great resource.
Yes, it is.
Earlier in the days of doing Anglia Ruskin commentary, we didn't have access to the live stats, so thank you and thank Basketball England for that. So what's coming up for Anglia Ruskin more generally in the basketball programme over the next few months? Is there anything in store for you in particular?
Well, one project that we're just starting on now is trying to host some live events at some of the fixtures, and they'll be targeting home games where we don't have double headers. Originally we planned on targeting double header games, but it's a long time commitment for 2 home games.
Yeah.
So we're going to target some individual home games, so fixtures for men and for women. Going to try and have some live music, live commentary like we're doing right now for both the men and the women, and just try and make an event of it and make it more of a day, increase the amount of spectators, and hopefully have more of a communal feel to the game.
Now, who's your target market for this? Is this your Anglia Ruskin students? Because of course we have a huge student body in Cambridge. Or would you expand it to wider, maybe schools in the area, or what's your plan?
That's a very good point. Targeting the student base is definitely something we're going to aim at. Mainly because they have no excuses. They have less commitments than local people living in the area. Some might say. But yeah, we're definitely trying to target students, but also friends and family of players, and anyone that's interested in coming and watch high performance basketball, because I think it's a great opportunity to come and see basketball locally at a very high level.
I mean, I completely agree. I do a little bit of coaching, not quite to the standard of you, I don't think, but I do a little bit of coaching, and I encourage my male players, they're under 16s, to watch as much women's basketball as they can.
Yes.
And I'm tempted to get them to send them down here, send them game tape, watch Anglia Ruskin, because, like you say, the men and the women, such high quality basketball. And the game that we saw, the friendly, the men against Ipswich 2 weekends ago,
yeah,
I see a lot of basketball. That was such good quality entertainment.
Yeah.
What, right on your doorstep. How much would it cost somebody to come here and watch a game of basketball?
Currently free of charge.
Costs what, 2 hours of your time?
2 hours of your time, that's the maximum price, yeah.
To get some great entertainment. I can't see why you wouldn't want to do that. Jake, I think I've taken enough of your time. Final one, what's your prediction for the end of the game?
Well, before the game on the statistics table, we had a little bet to see who could get closer to the score difference. And prior to the game, I predicted a 12-point win for Anglia Ruskin. Obviously the score's a bit more distant than that at the moment, but I'm happy to say that I'm beating Brian. So I'm currently closer to the score than he is.
What was Brian's?
Brian guessed that we win by 7.
Okay. So yeah, you would win, but I guess by default.
By default, yeah.
By default.
Well, that's assuming that the score line stays similar to how it is.
Absolutely. Oh, I did have one more question. I always do this. I lie to get my guests on podcasts. I was like Columbo, one more thing, but unfortunately that one more thing has gone out of my head.
I'll tell you what, I'll ask you a question.
Go on.
What do you think the Anglia Ruskin need to change going into the second half? Or do you think that they need to change anything?
I mean, it's working very well for them right now. And I don't think they need to make a proactive change. I think they have a cushion where if things do start to go, they could be a little bit reactive, and then if that happens, then start to look to be proactive. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So right now, I would go with what's working for you. It was good to see minutes for Helaj and McDermott, so close to her first ever points in an Anglia Ruskin jersey. So I'd stick with what works right now. They're keeping Voynova, an international basketball player, very quiet so far. So if you're doing that, you're doing something right. So me, I would change it. Final question, Jake: are we going to see Katrin Hulme make that triple-double, the elusive triple-double.
The triple-double that she was 1 point, 1 rebound and 1 assist away from.
No, just 1 rebound and 1 assist.
Oh, is it just... Okay, so... Let's have a look at the stats. What are the stats saying for this game?
5.
So we'll... that's a tough one, isn't it? So,
it's a tough one.
So she's halfway there.
She's halfway there. She's somehow played 24 minutes of a 20-minute game.
I'd say if she continues playing the majority of these next 2 quarters, I think we could see a triple-double.
Okay, you're heading back down courtside now.
Yes.
Maybe just mention it to Michael Hanson-Morris that he needs to leave here in as much as possible.
Yes.
Jake Naylor, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.